So, if you've been feeling like you've had a difficult time, like feeling motivated to write, this video is for you. I had a follower ask me about this, ask me for tips and advice on motivating oneself to get back into writing after having fallen out of practice with it. So, there's one quote that comes to mind to me first, and it comes from Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar says, "People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily." So, it's kind of a great quote to keep in mind, but I do think that it does take some effort to get motivated. Of course, you can kind of force yourself to write when you aren't motivated, but it's easier and it's more enjoyable when you are, of course. So here's some things that I've found that work for me. So the first one is read, watch, listen to some kind of art form that you love, storytelling in particular, when that makes you really feel something. Sometimes music is also helpful too. So for writers, I think we usually think of like reading books or watching a movie. So like for me, I might would pull Harry Potter off the shelf or pop in Lord of the Rings and watch it, or try to read or watch some form of fiction like almost every day. And not all of them have to leave like a powerful impression on me, but when one does, like I instantly feel more motivated to write. I've actually lately, I feel like I've had kind of writer burnout. I'm like, I want to write, but like I'm just like exhausted of writing. And I've been listening to like a lot of people. I have a playlist that I feel like kind of helps me with the story that I'm working on. And I just like to listen to that playlist, and that's kind of helped me. But there's also other art forms that can be really effective. We talked about music getting us in the zone, but also I think just even for some people, video games can kind of inspire them, which leads them to be motivated. Just try to consume some kind of art form that makes you feel something like deeply or powerfully. Or even like sometimes you can feel this way like listening to like inspirational speakers or studying something that even like a subject, I guess it's not really an art form, but like a subject that makes you want to do something or write about it. Okay, the second thing is that I find helpful is to read your old writing if you haven't been reading or if you haven't been writing for a while and you've kind of fallen out of it. If you're going to be trying to pick up a story that you haven't touched in weeks or months or sometimes, even if it's just yesterday and you're like having a hard time, it's helpful to try to go back and read part of it, either like the last part you wrote or a part you thought was like particularly good. And like notice that I said good and not perfect. So I'm not talking about like flawless writing. I'm talking about a part that you like sincerely love as a consumer. So I found that reading what I wrote last helps me kind of get back into the groove, and it reminds me where I am or where I've been and where I'm going or where I want to go next. So that might be helpful. Okay, so the third thing, so if you have like a particular story in mind or you're picking up one you've already started, then like try going back in your mind to when the idea or excitement for that story like first struck, and try to remember how you felt. Try to kind of relive that and try to remember why you wanted to write this story in the first place. Okay, fourth one is just to just do it. So like I said earlier, you can kind of force yourself to write. And it might sound ironic, but sometimes just choosing to write can lead you on a path to motivation. You might get an idea that like really strikes you and inspires you. Sometimes inspiration comes to you, but like just comes to you, I don't know, magically. But most of the time, you have to go find it. If you force yourself to write regularly, it will get easier and you are more likely to be motivated to write. Fifth thing is revisit encouragements. So if people have read your writing and said nice things to you about it, take time to, write those compliments down or save them someplace where you can revisit them. Sometimes just reading that other people like your work can be enough to be motivated to write more. So those are 5 things that have worked for me. Hopefully one of them will work for you. And good luck getting back into the groove with writing, and I hope things go well. All right, thanks everybody. You can get my latest writing tips at septembercfox.com. If you're interested in editing, you can see my editing services at foxediting.com. Thank you.